So this is something that's really surprising. This is car level handling on something that's twice the size. When Ford made the F-Series way back in the 50s, it cemented their reputation making the best pickup truck in the USA. Millions have been sold and tons of variations of the F-Series were made to suit any style. It was and still is the fastest selling car in the US and probably the world. And it's not even sold anywhere else because it's too big. Fast forward to the 1980s, Ford wanted a smaller truck for their lineup. A smaller, yet still very tough, worthy truck came, the Ford Ranger. Now the Ranger was sold as two different vehicles. The American one and the international one didn't look the same until this latest generation, where it's just one pickup now. Our Asian Ranger, which debuted in the late 90s, was also built in joint venture with Mazda, as with most Fords. Ford itself has a big history here in Malaysia, but that's for another time. What's unfortunate now is that Ford Malaysia only sells the Ranger and nothing else. Now I'm a huge Ford fan and knowing this did upset me, but I still wanted to get my hands on a Ford. I've never driven a Ranger before, so I went to my local Ford dealer to check out their finest Ranger. Well, second finest, the WildTrak. The International Ranger has been on sale since the late 90s and is the first pickup truck in Asia to offer car features and comfort, but still be able to do all the hard work. This 2020 WildTrak, which started at 150,000 ringgit, follows the same idea. The WildTrak is the second highest variant of the Ranger lineup, boasting more performance and a plethora of driving features. These features include parking sensors, forward collision warning, adaptive cruise control, lane departure assist and warning, auto emergency braking, and many more that makes this seem like a normal car. But unlike a normal car, you can take this off-road and go back home without worrying about anything breaking. This current design, the T6, which is by Ford Australia, has been updated from its first debut with sharper and thinner headlights that make the pickup look cleaner. The WildTrak also has a different grille and WildTrak decals on the side. On the back, the Ranger word is prominently placed under the large Ford logo. Standard on the WildTrak are LED headlamps and fog lamps. The side vents has the bi-turbo badge, but more on that later. Speaking of lights, there is a puddle light under the mirror for dark places. And you can opt for a 4x4 or 4x2 model, though this being called the WildTrak, having a 4x4 version makes more sense. Overall, the design of this current generation Ranger is the best yet. Even the post-facelift model still holds up very well. Open the hood and it lifts itself because the pickup is tall and most people can't push high enough. You are greeted with this 2-litre diesel. Yes, a huge dive from its previous 3.2. The bi-turbo engine makes 213 PS and 500 Nm of torque. This is by far the torquiest car I've driven. 500 Nm will get you out of anything. That's almost muscle car levels of torque. And it's from a tiny 2-litre. This is also the same engine that powers the Raptor, but the WildTrak is a little bit softer. This also being a capable off-roader, all the important baits are covered and placed near the back of the engine bay. It can also wade in 800mm of water. The WildTrak gets different wheels with black accents, but are the same 18-inch size you get on the lower end models, with discs in front and drums at the back. Now let's climb inside and check out the WildTrak's interior. After closing the door and hearing that Ford ding sound, the interior is very well built with nice soft and tough materials with dark grey colored trim. The WildTrak also gets this orange stitching all over and this logo on the passenger dashboard. You also get illuminated light options which you can kind of see in this door handle. On the right are all your light switches. Pressing the middle pops out the light adjuster button and on the left is your cargo area light. Moving to the center, under the screen are some radio controls and a dual zone climate control unit. The gear lever is also stitched in orange and has a sport mode for you to change gears manually. Moving back, you get two cup holders with those size adjusted things and a proper manual handbrake. Open the center storage, you get access to its first layer, which is decent, but open the second layer and you get a huge space to store pretty tall items and even water bottles too. Going back to the center, the 4x4 controls are next to the lever with a simple twist of a dial. Up top are all your driving aids such as diff lock, parking sensors, auto park, and hill descent control. The WildTrak also comes with a nice big reverse camera with parking lines to assist you. Below the AC are the two outlets. The 12V outlet cap is surprisingly nice to open. It feels solid and heavy. Now moving on to Ford Sync 3, starting with the radio. The layout is nice and simple and it's white too, so it's bright and clear. It also supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is the only proper app for phone link. Props to Ford for having both. The AC control is also very straightforward, big and clear to see. Pressing the buttons when you're not in the AC menu will bring up a pop-up to show what you're changing with no lag between the pop-up and your actions. The settings show all of your typical stuff like Bluetooth, sound, clock, your general settings, ambient lighting, and voice command settings. Going to the background settings, you have a choice of 4 vaguely similar background wallpapers, which are all nice and friendly looking. I love if they included some WildTrak specific backgrounds. One interesting setting is valet mode, which will lock the touchscreen features with a passcode. This is good if you don't want people snooping around in your contact list. The navigation works smoothly. Simply type the town or postcode and the street name and you can find any place you're looking for. The map is quite detailed with options on the right to avoid toll roads and highways. Quick search or point of interest also includes a list of nearby places depending on what type of place you choose. You can pinch to zoom, but it's a bit finicky as with all cars I've been with pinch maps. Sync 3 is very smooth, very easy to use, and the bright design makes everything clear. Everything is where it should be and is good for people who have never used a touchscreen before. Though the voice command doesn't seem to know how to respond when I say navigation. The nice thick leather wheel is flanked by buttons, with media and voice controls on the left and cruise control settings on the right. On top of those are the buttons to navigate the two screens. The buttons are big and easy to press and you don't need to squint to see. In the cluster on the left hosts all of your media related things such as the radio and phone. More options will appear when you connect a phone of course. The center speedo is also brightly lit in this turquoisey colored needle. The right screen has more things for you to customize, set and look at, such as a digital speedo, average speed, and even your tachometer. The little pickup next to the fuel level is your active safety diagram. Some of the safety assist features can be set for maximum response, medium response, or low response depending on how you like the car to react to your driving, such as wanting the lane departure assist to ease off a bit, or the adaptive cruise control to follow cars a bit further back. The glove box is also big and has this slot for specific items or receipts or maybe the owner's manual. The lock and unlock isn't a pulley thing on the door, it's this really cool button. On the ceiling are a normal set of interior lights and storage for sunglasses. The mirror also has lights built into them. The WildTrak gets these specific type of leather seats which also have the orange stitching. The same goes for the rear. Climb up to the rear and you won't have to worry about any tight space for your legs to stretch. I have lots of legroom and tons of headroom to stretch inside the back. The rear seats are also slightly slanted and have headrests, making it a bit more comfortable to sit. Inside, the same dark grey trim is also used on the door panels. In the middle, there are two types of pods. The rear seat also has an armrest. Moving on to the bed, and as expected, it's a large space to put in things like construction equipment, a few months worth of groceries, and lots of durian. The bag can also carry a maximum payload of 1000 kilograms, so an AE86 Toyota can sit on the back of this. The bed is also covered in the standard bed liner and features a power outlet and tie points. Okay, now driving the Ford Ranger, you can hear the diesel engine, 2.2 liter turbo engine, so a lot smaller than the previous WildTrak. The old one had a really big 3.2 engine, so this is a lot smaller and more powerful. So driving it's big, you know, like all pickup trucks, it's big, it's tall, you ride, you can see everything. But it doesn't really feel like a pickup truck, it feels more like a car because it's relatively quiet, it's easy to drive, it has lane departure assist, lane keep assist and all those stuff. And you can set the sensitivity, which is actually pretty good because sometimes you don't want the thing to pull too hard or to pull too little. So that's really nice actually. It has customizable active safety features. Not a lot of cars have that actually, especially cars made here. And this also being a continental car made in Europe, it has this signal thing where you tap it and then it flashes 3 times. So that's a good feature that also not a lot of Asian cars. So we're stopped right now and it's nothing is vibrating. It's very big inside. The screen is easy to use. Ford Sync 3, so it's nice to be in, even though it's a pickup truck. And it has a bit of plastic stuff, but that's normal because it's a pickup truck. You're going to go off-roading and going to do dirty things with it, so that's the point. But it's not hard to drive, and this is heavy traffic. There's a lot of cars right next to me, and it's not like you're bumping into stuff or anything like that. It's really nice. Well, there is one thing that you do have to get used to, is because you're taller than anyone, so you don't see a lot of car in front of you, you see above you. So that's something you need to get used to. But if you have a pickup truck or you've owned one or anything like that, it shouldn't be a problem. For me, it is because I've never been inside a vehicle this tall. And when you drive a pickup truck, people will just give way to you because you're much bigger than everyone else. And you can accelerate faster than anyone else because you have torque. Now this thing is, a lot of people will say that pickup trucks are fast. Yes, they are fast, but they're not built for speed. They're built for low-end power. It has lots of torque. So when you mash the pedal, you do get a lot of power coming out of it. Quite sayang lah sebab Ford was the first. I think it was the first or either the second, but one of the oldest
first car
manufacturer in Malaysia. So it was the first car built in Malaysia, built locally in Malaysia. So we had the Escort, the Cortina, which again you don't see them anymore because anything made in the 60s is all rusted away, and we all don't take care of stuff like that. But it's quite unfortunate that Ford has been reduced to just selling Rangers. But again, Ranger is still the top car because a lot of people are buying this, compared to Hilux. Boleh nampak Ranger dengan Hilux, dia punya ratio lebih kurang sama lah. Macam D-Max, you don't see that much anymore, especially the new 1.9 one. Triton pun not that much. Okay, so this is a quick acceleration that I'm going to mash the pedal. So I'm taking a turn right now, and it is not body rolling like a pickup truck. I'm turning quite,
like a Schumacher, bro.
So this is something that's really surprising. This is car level handling on something that's twice the size. You really don't feel the body roll like all pickup trucks do. I've been in an older Triton. When you steer an old Triton, you be like this. This doesn't do that, which is amazing. And of course, being a twin turbo diesel, the pickup is just amazing. I'm putting it in sport mode right now. So after this gigantic lorry, I'm gonna mash it. There, picks up right away. Diesel power. Okay, so the truck, because it's a truck, you can just, you don't need to brake when you go on bumps. And it's really comfortable. It has leaf springs at the back, but it feels like a car. It feels like something that has shock absorbers. So you can just go up and down bumps like this, like right now. Okay, I'm not touching the brake. And yep, there you go. Okay, I've never done that before because my car is really low. Doing this on a pickup truck is a lot of fun. That you can just go on top of things.
Lagi. Okay dah. Okay, so kita tekan yang ni.
Oh, auto park. Okay. Oh, okay, space found.
Space found dah. Ada kereta belakang?
Tak ada.
You pergi kat depan tu lah. You jalan depan lagi sampai dekat sebelah kereta merah tu.
Okay.
Ataupun dekat Viva tu lah, senang sikit, belakang tu ada kosong kan. You pergi dekat Viva tu, sekejap lagi you nak test balik, review pun boleh. So you jalan tepi dia.
Okay, jalan
tepi dia. Okay, sampai dia cakap space found. Jalan lagi. Okay dah. Okay, so please drive forward. Drive forward lagi. Lagi. Okay dah, stop. Okay, so you ikut lah, masuk reverse. Jangan.
Okay, this is the auto park feature. So apa tadi? Cari sana apa? Yeah.
So you tadi bila you tekan ni,
Okay.
when you press this button, dia akan suruh drive forward lah.
Okay.
So now dia dah jumpa space lah. Dia tulis kat sini space found. And then dekat sini dia cakap release steering wheel and shift to reverse.
Okay,
so you masuk reverse lah.
Alright, shifting it into reverse and then okay, what do I do?
Don't hold the steering. You just lepaskan you punya brake je.
Alright.
You control, tekan minyak sikit. Itu hand, you masuk reverse.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. So lepas handbrake je.
Okay, lepas handbrake. Okay, and
then
then
akan,
okay, it's doing it. Okay, can I stop it anytime I want?
Yeah. You control dia punya brake saja.
Okay, because I have to look, because takut dia akan langgar kereta lain semua kan.
Dia tak langgar, you lepas brake je.
Okay. Alright. So yes, it's doing it. Auto park. Okay, this is fun actually. This is my second experience of
stop.
auto parking. Okay, stop.
Okay, stop. Okay, finish lah. So dia dah parking untuk you lah.
Alright.
The parking is complete lah.
Okay, that's nice. The verdict. Now, I'm a big Ford fan. I love all of their cars, old and new, despite not owning a real one because 1, I have no money, and 2, there aren't any Ford cars to buy anymore. But this Ranger is honestly the perfect car. It's a car that happens to be a pickup truck that can go off-road, drive over bumps and pull things. What more do you need? It's premium, comfortable, looks fantastic, powerful, and is equipped with modern tech for normal driving. Honestly, I can't find anything wrong with this truck aside from the sync not being able to respond to navigation. Now, I haven't driven any other pickup trucks yet, but this is by far the best one I've ever driven ever, and nothing will change my mind even if I test drive different ones. Special thanks to Ford Kajang for having me check out the WildTrak Ranger and your other models, and huge thanks to the staff for helping me go through all the stuff and features of each cars. Thank you and see you next time.